we're going to talk about the hotels in Japan or the real estate in Japan in general. The whole market in Japan, the property price is quite low. The whole price is quite low because of the currency rate. Historically speaking, the rate itself is right now today's dollar is 149. Around this range is the same as 1970s. So the moderate inflation rate, they're trying to get out of deflation right now. Compared with other countries, inflation rate is quite low. So now is the time to go into the property investment in Japan. Especially the residential rate, right now they're yielding around, I think 3-4%. Upper front will be 8-9%. It depends on the cities. Interest rate in Japan is right now still around 1 to 1.5%. It's not so bad investment. In general, the properties are yielding around 4% to 5%. And the rural area, the outside of Tokyo, the yield is getting higher and higher, still higher. And then at the same time, the currency rate is quite low. So now is the time to go into the property market in Japan. You have any questions?
So as Filipino, can I have invest or can I buy a property in Japan?
Yes, you can buy property anytime you want, and then there's no restriction buying property in Japan. Only agricultural. There must be some restrictions, but most of the commercial or residential properties in Japan, foreigners can buy. There's no regulation and no restriction. Compared with other countries like the Philippines, you cannot own more than 40%. But in Japan, you can own 100%. So historically speaking, most of the Japanese are suffering from the deterioration of the property market. It happened 1990s. And then the last 30 years, they have been suffering from a deflation. But they're, thanks to maybe Trump or inflation in the world, they're trying to get out of deflation and going into inflation. So the moderate inflation might happening in Japan. The currency rate is quite low right now against the US dollars. So when you have some extra money, you'd better buy Japanese yen and then invest into property market in general. And I think, personally I think, residential and commercial are yielding, I think residential is not yielding quite high, 3-4%. Compared with the other countries, it's quite low. And commercial will be a little higher than residential. I'd like to talk about the hotel business. I mean, hotel property in Japan is yielding much higher than residential and commercial property market. Especially, well, when you think about Japan, you're talking about big cities like Tokyo, Osaka, maybe Fukuoka or Kyoto. The market is quite competitive, so you'd better go into the rural. Hokkaido is quite famous, but today I'd like to talk about Okinawa.